All right, so we're finally back from our closed session, and that was under section 239(2)(b and F of the Municipal Act, and it is October 19th, 2020 for our Adelaide Metcalfe Council meeting. We do have a couple items for the rise and report, and I'll ask our clerk, Jen, to read those motions.
Yep, thanks, Mayor Smith. So the first motion is resolved that council schedule a special virtual council meeting to address the interim control bylaw extension and the special policy areas within those areas on Thursday, October 22nd, 2020 at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, mover and seconder for that. Okay, Deputy Mayor Hendricks and Councilor McKinnon. Councilor Clerk, you have a question, or is that to move it?
That was just to move it, sorry.
Okay, all those in favor?
Everyone's frozen right now.
Okay. And that's carried. And then the next motion, Jen?
Resolve that council directs staff to report back to council regarding a process for amending the Kerwood wastewater treatment facility fee schedule.
Okay, mover and seconder. Okay, Councilor McKinnon and Deputy Mayor Hendricks. All those in favor? And that is carried. And then the third one.
Resolve that council directs staff to proceed as discussed in closed session.
Excellent. Mover and seconder. Councilor Brody, seconded by Deputy Mayor Hendricks. All those in favor? And that's carried.
I'm opposed to the third item that was discussed in closed session.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we're going to move into, also I'm going to apologize to people waiting live on YouTube that I guessed the closed session was going to be 20 to 30 minutes. I was very wrong. It was over 2 hours. So moving into the minutes of the previous meeting, and that is October 5th, 2020 virtual regular council meeting. Do you have a mover and seconder to approve those minutes? Councilor McKinnon, seconded by, it's been a long meeting, Councilor Brody. All those in favor? And that's carried. All right, so we'll move into the correspondence. So the first section is our upcoming conference and seminars and meetings. So our next planning meeting is tomorrow night, October 20th, 2020. And then our next regular council meeting is Monday, November 2nd, followed by November 16th. And then we also have a planning meeting that night as well. So the next section is the recommended readings. The first one is from the Solicitor General, and it's the anti-racism. I'm going to mess up this word. What is it again?
Directorate.
Directorate. Thank you. I knew I was going to mess that one up. Okay. Item number 2 is from the Middlesex London Health Unit, and it's their update from September 2020. And then their other update from September, the Assault Bayfield Conservation Authority, and it's their GM's report for October 15th, followed by the October 8th Budget Committee minutes, and then their October 15th agenda for the Board of Directors, and then their September 17th Board of Directors meeting minutes. Item number 4 is from CN, and it's the 2020 CN and Your Community. And then moving into the action required is from the Lake of Bays, and it's a resolution. It's reform to the municipal insurance policies. And I believe, Councilor Clark, that's the one that you declared a conflict on. Do you have a mover and seconder for support or filing? Oh, Jen.
Thanks, Mayor Smith. I just wanted to add to council, I've talked to Frank Cowan regarding our insurance premiums for 2021. We won't be looking at a 20% increase because we're rural. We'll be closer to a 15% increase in 2021. So if that helps make you a decision on that one, that's background information.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Hendricks.
Yeah, I think this has been an ongoing issue with AMO, and I think most of the municipalities on the province are on side with this, the unfunded liability that we have for all kinds of things. So I think we should support this.
Okay, so Deputy Hendricks, you'll move that. Do we have a seconder? Councilor McKinnon. Okay, all those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, and then the second one is from the Township of North Glengarry, and it's a resolution regarding the inhabitable capital costs for Safe Restart Agreement funding. Any thoughts on this one to support it? Okay, Deputy Mayor Hendricks.
Yeah, I also thought, that there's a limited amount of tax money and everybody's paying for it in the long run. But if they're going to fund the costs of municipalities dealing with COVID, some of those capital costs, like having to change your building to deal with your public, I think this is a good one to support also.
Okay, do a seconder for that one. Okay, Councilor Clark. Is there any discussion on it? All those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, so we do need a motion to resolve that council receive and file correspondence item CC1 to CC4. Okay, Deputy Hendricks, seconded by Councilor McKinnon. All those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, so we have our committee minutes and we're going to deal with those separately. So the first one is the Joint Health and Safety Committee, and that's the September 3rd minutes. Is there any questions or comments on those? If not, do you have a motion to receive those minutes? Councilor Brody and Councilor McKinnon. Okay, all those in favor? And that's carried. And then the second one is the Joint Building Committee, and that was from July 9th. Mover and seconder for those. Councilor McKinnon and Deputy Mayor Hendricks. Is there any questions on those at all? All those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, moving into staff reports. Our first one is from our Public Works Manager, Coulter.
Thank you, Mayor Smith. My first report tonight is a Public Works information report. In the 2020 budget, Council agreed to give Catesville Drive from Kelm Road to Kerwood Road a lift of asphalt as this surface was deteriorating. This application was completed the week of September 28th and came in right on budget. Our single surface treatment for Cuddy Drive and Murphy Drive that was awarded to Norjon Contracting and Paving was also a success. Number 3, our culvert number 3 on Wilson Road was one of the targeted box culverts to be replaced this year. Township staff and contractors did a great job replacing this concrete culvert with a large aluminized corrugated steel pipe in a safe and timely manner. The first round of fall grading for all the township gravel roads has started. It will follow up with a second round, depending on weather. Hopefully a third round. It does take a couple rounds to get the potholes completely filled in. And finally, the sidewalks on Napperton Drive and Pike Road. The newly constructed sidewalks that council passed in the 2020 budget are on pace to start this week, weather permitting. It is not a great start to the week, but we're hoping to get started middle end of the week. So that'll be nice to get that off the list. Recommendation would be resolved that council accept the Public Works information report prepared by the Public Works Manager.
Okay, thank you, Coulter. Is any questions or comments from members of council? Okay, seeing none. So we just have that motion there, and it's to resolve that council receive the Public Works Manager's information report as prepared by the Public Works Manager. Councilor Clark, seconded by Councilor Brody. All those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, and then your second report there, Coulter.
Yeah, my second report is just a fleet maintenance report. In the 2020 budget conversation, council requested that a report on the maintenance costs for our tandem snowplow units be brought forth in the fall of 2020. This is a 5-year breakdown for each of our plow units. They're all up to safeties. They all have their safeties up to date and they're ready for the winter season. As you can see, Mac 2's expenses are a little higher than the rest. This year we had to put a new cross conveyor on it, which is basically the sander. And recently when it was in for its annual safety, we had to do a major repair to a cracked cross member on the frame. So that was very labor intensive. That was a pretty big item, but it needed to be done. It was a safety issue. So recommendation be resolved that council accept the fleet maintenance report prepared by the Public Works Manager.
Is there any questions or comments at all? Councillor Clark?
Are each of those, like the number of hours on each of those three, are they very similar on an annualized basis? Or does the second one on the list that requires more servicing, does it get used more?
They're all fairly similar in hours, but Mac number 2, it shows a little more wear and tear because when we first started doing all the hard surfacing in the south end, Mac 2 had to do basically double duty. So it was plowing and sanding one route and then going back over the route that was plowed by a grader to do all the sanding and salting for it. So for some years there, it was doing double duty.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there any other questions at all? Okay, seeing none, so we have the recommendation there to receive that report. Okay, Councillor Brody and Councillor McKinnon, all those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, is there any other questions at all for Coulter and the Public Works? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into the next staff report, and that's from our CBO, Shannon.
Thank you. So I've just highlighted the building report from March 1st to May 31st, and then from June 1st to September 30th. They're showing the building activity that's been occurring during that time period here in Adelaide Metcalfe. So I would be happy to answer any questions council may have. Some of this was before I came on board, but
is there any questions at all, Councillor Clark?
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a typo, but from March 1st to May 31st, that's supposed to be probably 3 million, not 30,000. Is that correct? It's just missing a 0 for the agricultural component.
yes, I apologize for that. There is a 0 missing in there. The comma space is right.
But that's correct, right? It's
For the
but
permit
3
value,
million, right?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Councillor McKinnon?
And just going back to that same report, Shannon, under number 4, residential, the permit fee for the residential, it's not 13 million, is it?
No, it's not. I apologize. I did not do a good job checking my decimal spaces there. So it should be 13,301 and 41 cents.
Great, thank you.
That would be nice, though.
Yeah. That would be fabulous.
Not sure we have the capacity for that right now.
Yes. But considering there's only 4 permits, I'm glad that it's not that high. All right, is there any other questions at all? Okay, so we need a mover and seconder to resolve that council received the building permit summary staff report for the period of March 1st, 2020 to May 31st, 2020, and from June 1st to September 30th, 2020, as presented by the chief building official. Councillor McKinnon, seconded by Councillor Brody. All those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, is there any questions at all for Shannon in the building department? Okay, seeing none, Moving to our next staff report. It's from our clerk, acting treasurer, Jen.
Thanks, Mayor Smith. This is my bi-weekly report for accounts payable. It's from September 29th to October 13th. Summary of payments to be approved is $1,387,504.89. And just below that is the summary. There's 23 checks totaling $53,504.29. Pre-authorized payments, $15,480.75, and electronic funds transfer, $1,317,458.56. And within that 1 million, you're going to see that there's county levy that needs to be paid. That's why it's so much this month, or this bi-weekly period.
Okay, is there any questions at all on the accounts? Councillor Clark?
Item 00-6310-8324, the Minotaur, I think it said, the dead lives. Is it for dead livestock, or is it like a vet viewing, or like what is that for $395?
I can speak to that, Mayor Smith. That's for the, there's a storm scepter on Healy Avenue. It needs an annual inspection, so that's what that is.
Oh, okay, so not livestock related. Okay, thank you.
Councillor McKinnon?
Just under page 1 and starting at 001427, one-time supplier, and it goes down about 2, 4, 6, 8 checks for a total of $8,222.29. I just wondered what that was. Was that for our share of a road and drainage on it, or?
Yes, that's for the roads portion for Ward Drain.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, is there any other questions at all? Okay, seeing none, we need to have a motion to resolve that council received the invoice payment approval report as presented by the clerk acting treasurer, and that council approved the account listings for September 29th to October 13th, 2020 in the amount of $1,387,504.89. Deputy Mayor Hendricks and Councillor Clark, all those in favor? And that's carried. Okay, is there any questions at all for Jennifer? Okay, seeing none. So other business, is there anything from council for other business at all? Yep. Councillor McKinnon?
Yes, sorry, Mayor Smith, but under correspondence from CN, they had asked if we had any concerns. They're trying to keep us safe and building and maintaining strong connections. I wonder if we could ask the county if they're satisfied with the crossing at Kerwood there. I don't believe a lot of us are yet.
That's a very good point. Councillor Clark?
I noticed in Kerwood, they now have 2 new signs up for, like to say that there's a bump or whatever, one on each side of the tracks. And that seemed to be, I only noticed it after I noticed a ratepayer on a Sunday lost the wheel off the front of a green buggy with grain in it.
It is, that crossing is better than it was, but it certainly is not good.
No.
I think from what I was told, it's because there's a bit of a curve or something in that location, and that's why they weren't able to have it flat, but it's, yeah, it is pretty bad. Okay. So Jen, are you able to follow up with? Perfect.
Yes, I will contact Chris Trainey and I will ask him about the crossing on Kerwood Road.
Okay. Is there anything else for other business? Deputy Mayor Hendricks?
Yeah, I attended a virtual meeting for Blue Water Recycling. They had their general meeting last week. So that was their budget meeting, and some reasonably good news is that for their budget for next year, the cost of living, which is estimated to be at about 0.4%, will be the increase for cost of garbage. And we have a pretty good company doing the recycling. Unlike some areas which are getting like a 15 or 20% increase, our increase will be about 1%, 1 to 2% for the budget for next year for the cost to the township for recycling. And they'll have a full report out. I got sent the report for the meeting, so I'm pretty sure we'll be getting it shortly as a council.
Perfect. Okay. Is there any other questions or, sorry, anything else for other business? Okay, seeing none. So I assume that report will probably be sent to Jen soon, and that'll go into your correspondence. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to move into the bylaws, and we just have one for tonight. And it's resolved that all 3 readings be given to bylaw number 61 of 2020, the confirmed council proceedings, and that the bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk, and the corporate seal be attached. Mover and seconder for that. Okay, Councilor McKinnon and Councilor Brody. All those in favor? And that's carried. And if there is nothing else, we'll have a motion to adjourn at 9:27. Councilor Brody and Councilor Clark, all those in favor? And that's carried. Excellent. See everybody tomorrow night at the planning meeting.